On a golden morning when the sun was climbing gently over the trees of a quiet countryside, a crow named Clara fluttered through the air in search of food, her sharp black eyes scanning every field and every yard. And as luck would have it, she spotted a piece of cheese lying carelessly outside the kitchen window of a farmhouse left behind after breakfast, its aroma strong and tempting. Swooping down quickly before any other bird or animal could claim it, she seized the cheese in her beak and with a triumphant flap of her wings soared up to the tallest oak tree nearby, settling proudly on a thick branch where she thought she would eat in peace, safe from all dangers. For up there she felt like the queen of the morning, her meal secure. But below, walking along the dusty road, came a fox named Felix, sly and hungry, his lean body moving gracefully, his clever mind already thinking about where to find food. For his stomach growled, and he had not eaten since the night before. And when his keen nose caught the scent of cheese drifting down from the tree, his amber eyes darted upward, where he saw the crow perched with her prize. Instantly his mouth watered, but he also knew there was no chance of climbing the tree or leaping high enough to snatch the food. So he stopped, thought, and smiled to himself, for he believed wit could achieve what claws could not. Felix sat at the foot of the tree and looked up at Clara, his voice smooth like honey as he called, "Good morning, beautiful crow. What a splendid sight you are. Your feathers shine like polished ebony under the sun, and your wings spread wide like those of a queen. How graceful you sit there. Truly, I have never seen such a magnificent bird in all my travels." Clara, startled at first, felt a glow of pride warm her chest. For like many, she enjoyed being admired, and though she clutched the cheese tightly in her beak, her eyes softened as she listened to the fox's flattering words. Felix continued with great skill, never once letting the admiration fade from his tone. "But beauty is not everything, dear crow. I have heard stories whispered by other animals of the forest that your voice is as sweet as the nightingale's song, that when you sing, even the winds pause to listen, and the river slows its flow to enjoy the melody. Alas, I have never been so fortunate as to hear it myself. Would you honor me with just one song, so I may tell the world that I have heard the crow whose voice is music itself?" Clara's pride swelled. She thought, "Surely I must show him what I can do. Why should this fox doubt my voice? Let me prove to him how truly great I am." And so, forgetting the cheese, forgetting that her beak needed to stay closed to hold it, she lifted her head high, opened her mouth wide, and cawed loudly with all the strength of her lungs. Caw! Caw! At that exact moment, the cheese tumbled from her beak, spinning through the air and landing right at Felix's waiting paws. With lightning speed, he snatched it up and began to eat greedily, the rich taste filling his mouth while his eyes gleamed with victory. Clara gasped in horror as she realized her mistake, but it was too late. The cheese was gone, and the fox was licking his lips, looking up at her with mock courtesy. "Thank you, dear crow," Felix said slyly, "for your beautiful song and for your generous gift. I must admit your voice is exactly as I imagined, loud and strong. But I'm especially grateful for breakfast. Farewell." And with that, he trotted off into the woods, tail swishing, his trick successful. Clara sat in the tree, her heart heavy with shame, the echoes of her foolishness ringing louder than her own cause, and she thought bitterly to herself, "How easily I was deceived, not by strength, not by force, but by empty words of praise. I let vanity blind me, and now I am left with nothing but regret." She realized that flattery, though sweet to the ears, often hides sharp teeth, and that trust should not be given so quickly to those whose motives are unclear. From that day on, Clara became wiser, never again opening her beak at the cost of her treasure, and she warned her fellow birds whenever she could, "Do not be fooled by those who flatter, for they may not wish you well." Thus the story of the fox and the crow traveled across the countryside, told and retold by children, parents, and storytellers, not just as entertainment, but as a lesson carved into memory, reminding everyone that pride and vanity make us vulnerable, and that not every smile is sincere, not every compliment is honest, and not every admirer is a friend. Moral of the story: beware of flatterers. False praise can cost you dearly.